6:05 p.m. on Tuesday, April 2nd, the second quarter Land Acquisition Commission meeting here at the Birdcraft Museum, 200 Uncle Road in Fairfield. Present here is Cassandra Marshall, Rob Wilkins, Mark Egan, and on Conference Bridge, Adam Goodman. It's a quorum, so call to order. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I circulated, so everyone, I hope they had a chance to look at the draft minutes in our first quarter meeting. Those are filed online on the webpage, on the Fairfield webpage. Motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next up, the Conservation Director Bishop here, he provided a recent land acquisition worksheet on some pockets of parcels that come from the acquire, and also the agenda.
Sure. Thank you. First, it's been a busy 3 months, or I'll say busy quarter, partially with the assistance of the town's new law firm, Cohen & Wolf. Attorney Myers has been, and his team has been great, so I want to recognize that. And they just have a lot more bandwidth and staff to assist me and us with a lot of the paperwork. Some of the parcels have been easier than others with respect to tied up in estates, orphan properties. So you'll see on your worksheet that there was a lot of activity over the last quarter, and partially for that reason. The parcels that have been on here for a while have been idle in the past. Work with the previous firm, so I feel like in this quarter we're making a lot more progress.
Who was the previous firms?
There were multiple firms. Attorney Hudson Weaver had a bunch. The previous main counsel was Attorney Baldwin, and Attorney Ambrose was also involved with many of these. So it was all kind of scattered depending on what the need was and who's doing what and what to take what, and now it's kind of consolidated with a big firm, and
who's the lead?
Moving a lot better.
Who is the lead of Cohen & Wolf?
Attorney Phil Myers.
Okay.
Who is it?
Pierce.
Phil Pyers.
Pierce, sorry.
Okay,
Pierce.
thank you.
Phil Myers. So, just going down the list, Barry at 152 Beaver. There. I have an update from Attorney Phil. A paragraph I can read, but the case, I guess you want me to read it out? I'll just summarize that.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we filed suit and confirm that there's a stipulated judgment against the heirs. followed by a judgment of strict foreclosure. They're in the process of finalizing the STIP right now. So without getting into too many details, it's moving forward. This was probably one of the first ones that was after acquiring. It's adjacent to our Gypsy Springs open space. Frank Berry Jr., the son, they didn't know that the deceased father still had it in his name, and blah, blah, blah. So that one is moving forward. 130 Welch Terrace, Yovan, I've spoken with the heir to the heir. And this is what I mean, things are so complicated with deceased parties. Attorney Ambrose is handling this one because it was kind of a leftover from prior. I've spoken with the wife of the daughter of the deceased. It started with the husband who died and passed it to the wife who died, and now the daughter. So it's kind of an orphan property again. That is moving forward with having to open an estate and close it and foreclose and so on. So that one's still moving. On 137 Deerfield Street, Zena I spoke to last week actually. He did receive my letter. I sent out a third after this worksheet was printed. He is going back to the summer of 22. I had issued a letter when he owed about $5,000 delinquent taxes. He wasn't interested at the time. I put the town attorney on notice to foreclose, but my conversation with him last week indicated that while his delinquent taxes have now doubled, he still would like to retain and intends to make payments against it. So, giving him the benefit of the doubt, and not to play the aggressive town. I'll be monitoring that parcel. Also, it's a Gypsy Springs. 236 Woodside Circle, LLC. They are, I issued a corrective action order to them in the last 2 weeks on behalf of Town 11 water course regulations. That order forces them, or I should say requires, property owners to appear before the 11's agency tomorrow night for a show cause hearing. The agency will hear and decide whether to uphold, modify, or deny my order, which in summary requires the owner to address the original notice of violation that was issued about 20 years ago. So, that ball was dropped way before I got here. But to summarize, what the 3 property owners ago did was install a wall on the Rooster River, which changed the velocity and trajectory of the river and is now causing damage downstream on other parcels. That wall was never removed, and like I said, this is the 3rd, maybe 4th owner. At this point, property changed hands that many times in cash, so there was no title search, no due diligence, so they bought a huge problem. This is also the property that we wish to acquire. The town back then set aside, I would say maybe not 2 decades ago, but maybe a half a decade ago, set aside, and I confirmed that it was about $350,000 available for purchase. But the previous town council advised last year that we need to pursue the violation and corrective action prior to acquisition. So we'll see what happens before it is 11 tomorrow.
Excuse me, Ted, just a question. Is there a liability to the property owner for any downstream flooding or things that might happen?
If someone's sued, then they can prove it, yeah. Also, it's adjacent to town properties, so essentially, the town and my department are, who has jurisdiction on that parcel, 116, Woodside Circle is basically a river. We could probably make that argument, but it's a violation still, yeah. That river, a section of the river is only because we have a recent wetlands application for armoring 447 Stratford Road, who abuts that maybe by like 3 lots there. In the last, which we could confirm, in the last 5 years, we've lost almost 40 feet of riverfront property. That's if anyone knows the area. There's a swimming pool there at the time that was about 5 feet from getting swallowed by a rooster. But when you look back just over a few years in the area, you can see, and we have surveys because that is an approved building lot when we issued a permit for prior. So the survey from the approved permit application to the one from 2 months ago shows the measured loss. So it is significant.
Thank you for that.
No problem. So that looks like certain. What happens tomorrow?
Is that a public meeting, then?
It is, yep. Anyone's welcome to attend in person, but also will be online on Zoom. The town transitioned from WebEx to Zoom, most of the boards and commissions. 249 Pine Creek Avenue is another estate. Let's see if I have a note on that. Let's see. No taxes are owed. The only option based from town council's recommendation is to pursue a purchase or donation. So I had noted that we're likely to abandon pursuit at this time because it's a small portion of Tidal Marsh. I think the logistics are too complicated for the gain. So at least I think that'll go on hold for now. It's already protected by regulation. So I think just pursuit to purchase it wouldn't really create an advantage. She was one of the heiresses was willing to, or executive heirs, I don't know which, had first approached us to donate it, but because of the estate complications, I think the logistics is too difficult. 1207 Congress, Bragg, that went to, filed a motion for judgment of strict foreclosure on February 29th of this year, and a judgment hearing on March 25th of this year. The court granted our judgment for strict foreclosure. The law day on the property was Tuesday, April 30th, so the end of the month. So that will be ours. That's 3 acres adjacent to Merritt Parkway and Congress by that Congress Street exit. And a couple parcels up from our previous Congress acquisition that, from what I could tell, driving by the Parkway, has a little pool, which I was on to it. So 3 acres is great acquisition.
So things like this, I'm sorry, I'm new, but these are tax foreclosures?
Yeah, most all of them are through a requested donation with delinquent taxes, and they get they absolve back taxes, right. or a foreclosure that in this case the current property owner was unresponsive in writing and knocks on the door from town attorney. Right. So left no choice but to just foreclose on it.
Okay, so your group, your conservation department identifies properties that are valuable land.
And this commission too.
What's the order, what's the sequence? You guys, and then
I mean, I think it's a team, we work together. I find things is, part of my job, I bring them here for thoughts and ideas, yay, nay type of thing. Most of them I think that I bring are kind of, usually a home run based on certain criteria. Do they have, inland or tidal wetland resources or water courses?
Yep.
Are they adjacent to an existing open space? Is there some other strategic gain, for conservation purposes?
Yeah. Good.
And do they owe back taxes? So when I identify one, like, why isn't this, I'll see it on an aerial, I'll see it on a GIS, it'll come up in conversation. I'll start looking, talk to the tax collector, he tells me that they owe $150,000. I'll send them a letter saying, are you interested in donating? And then I'll have these conversations of, my dad's been dead for 25 years, I didn't know we owned it.
Right.
Okay, great, do you want to donate it? Do you want to pay the taxes? So, similar to the Zena case, I had that conversation. He owes taxes, he wants to make an effort. I'm not that type of person that's just going to be like, Tom, pay up or we're taking your land, kind of thing. So try and work with people. It's been a successful approach as far as acquiring property.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. The two Velez properties, right before I got here, I was having a conversation with the first selectman. I wasn't included in this in your package at the time, but the town and the first selectman did sign a formal offer letter to Mr. Velez in the amount of $887,500 to acquire both properties. So that I spoke with Mr. Velez yesterday in my office, and there will be a negotiation happening, which I spoke to Selectman Gerber about tonight before I came here. So with the town attorney's assistance, will be likely exploring that option. Mr. Velez is seeking $1 million for both. Somewhere in the middle, hopefully there's room to come to an agreement.
Where are those properties?
So these are on Sturgis. One has a house, and one is vacant. One lot is vacant. They're adjacent to our Perry's Mill Pond open space, where the River Wetland Committee and Board of Ed River Lab program operates out of. My intent was to acquire just a lot for parking. Mr. Velez didn't want to sell the lot separately, so with that, came up with the idea to buy the single-family home and renovate and operate it as a major classroom.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that would be for kind of rent, almost like a wedding venue or Penn State Pavilion type venue where Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever, whoever, maybe even out-of-town groups, whatever, would go through, whether it's my department or another department, and say I want to have, I want to collect organisms from the Mill River and put them in the microscope in the classroom. So right there, both properties plus our existing town space, the 54 acres, almost contiguous. Well, we've got the Perry's Mill Pond and the Mill River right there, which is, I think it's a great opportunity. Always a very USP there, so we'll have to deal with that. Obviously, a home inspection type of scenario to do the town's due diligence. There's an appetite for the purchase and, you know, to take on another structure as far as maintenance and electricity, heating, roof, paint job, that type of stuff as another cost, but a portion of that would be funded from the in lieu of fee that TPZ collects during the subdivision, and then the remainder would either be bonded or kind of a patchwork funding through other sources. So exciting. It was in, I did an interview in the CP Post last week, so the word is out. And Mill River Wetlands Community, John Daly, the president, is excited. We've all been holding at the mouth to see this level of progress. So.
Is the 87.5 that thing stable then?
Yeah, each parcel is appraised by Andy Gaffney, who's the appraisal that the town, or one of the appraisers the town uses, tax assessor uses frequently. Each lot was appraised individually, also with consideration that the vacant lot could be developed on its own in accordance with zoning regs, but it could accommodate a 1,200 square foot footprint. So essentially a 24 to 2,600 square foot house could get there. Whether, you know, wetlands, human wetlands agency would have some comments. I know my department has some comments. But on paper, that is a possibility that change the initial appraised value, knowing that.
Now, would our commission react sooner rather than later once the negotiations are done to vote the purchase?
Yeah, I believe the commission voted, maybe, I don't remember the language, I think they voted, you guys voted to pursue it. But, yeah, we have it. And so did Conservation Commission. I mean, I think everyone thinks it's a great idea and is behind it. But yeah, there's a formality, and then
I think we're all set. We'll order that and discuss it.
Yeah, things are moving, which is great. Like I said, with the official offer letter, you know, it's great progress. So that's that one. We'll see. You know, I think definitely before we meet again, I'll have an update, or you'll either hear from me or the newspaper what's going on with these parcels. Next two are 470 Westway and 700 Westway. These parcels are on the west side of town, close to 95, on the Westport border. One of them actually borders the town of Westport. One is a tidal wetland parcel, and one is in the wetland watercourse. Both are adjacent to 95, and one is adjacent to our Westway open space at Southport. About a little over 2 acres in total. That's, I believe, let's see, title search was returned. Town attorney this goes back to March 8th. Town attorney was reviewing it and preparing a transfer document. So this approached the Westway Road LLC. They were clearly delinquent in taxes. I got a phone call, I think the next day or the morning, the gentleman received my letter. He said, how do I turn these over to you? Don't want them. They're useless to them. So that method worked. And couldn't wait to unload them and get, those taxes resolved, so. I think in the next couple of weeks, we should have tied up the both of them. And the old thorn in my side, 3726 Post Road, has been my greatest desire since I started, and it's one of the oldest ones besides Barry on here. Is adjacent to our whole highway open space, half of which occupy the former Volpe Pond before the dam breach. This is borders the town Westport as well. Everyone knows Post Road and kind of the old mill next to Shake Shack. That is this parcel. It would essentially double our whole highway open space, provide access to that inland wetlands north of the former dam. That area is confirmed that Post Road is about where the tidal meets inland wetlands, and because of the dam north of that was tidal. It's probably a little more mixing now with some push, but some salinity data I have shows that area on the north side of Post Road is inland.
Tim, I think we talked about this one before, the one with like 6 or 7 pairs that are kind of spread across.
Yeah, exactly. So that is this parcel. The update I have from council, we could, as of, this is as of April 1st, memo from council states that we commenced suit on March 7th, 2024 by serving via marshal 4 of the 12 defendants for this action. We'll file a marshal's return of service and the document served with the court this week. The remaining 8 defendants are either deceased or have whereabouts that we could not reasonably ascertain. They have prepared an application for first order of notice and an affidavit in support thereof in order to successfully serve the remaining 8 defendants via publication. Once granted, we will advance the file to judgment. So, that sounds great. Anyone understand what a lot of that means? But the lawyer will suggest that they're moving forward. And I feel like a broken record on this parcel, and I see that at the Sasko Brook committee that I'm involved with Westport and others. But this is just a huge acquisition in my mind, not just because of the acres, but the promising characteristics of this location.
Yeah, it's really good news from Steve here.
Yeah.
My takeaway when we discussed it a year ago was how to approach it.
Exactly.
I think now I have a clear approach that should be able to.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the points that I need alluding to the change in council.
Yes, it's noticeable on this one for sure.
The ability and the bandwidth and the staff and the horsepower to get it done. So it's been a game changer first quarter, and we're addressing a lot of these that have been kind of floundering or idle for too long, but
Yeah.
out of my control.
Sure.
Trying to get things, they're all legal related, and it's, I could send a letter and I could get, guys like Westway Road LLC to say, hey, I want to give it to you, or the state of Metz, and say, I want to donate this, whether they owe anything or not, and then it's left up to the lawyers to make it happen, and I can't do anything, so, it's a big help, and I think we're on the right track at a faster pace. So that is all I have. I did update the bottom as tracking for us and conservation who ends up having jurisdiction over the parcels, but the real quirky summary box at the bottom, just kind of puts all this information, keeps tabs of, the rate of acquisition and how many parcels, what the acreage, acquired and outstanding is. So I expect with some of these, updates that, those numbers are gonna change significantly, so.
And to do I read the 29.57 to be things that we expect to be complete, or things that we are?
Yeah, just the sheet strictly.
Okay.
Yeah, what's been acquired, what I listed, what have we gotten, and what's left to get, just on this sheet alone.
Sure.
When I find things, that are great to this commission, I put them on here and I update. I have formulas behind all these cells, including the second to last one, average acquisition frequency rate. So I just take the fact that I started in August of 21 chasing properties and, you know, how long am I taking to get an acquisition complete? So 4.29 months isn't too bad.
So that's good.
Thank you.
So there's still a lot of play here.
There is, and there's some big parcels, like just the 3 from, Laurelbrook, you know, it's 12 acres right there.
Yeah.
12, actually 18. So, you know, just that would cut that into almost half. But we get, you know, once we close on Bragg, there's 3 more acres. Westway is 2.5 and 2.25. You know, just probably in the next month we'll have added 5 more acres. You know.
So so obviously getting them acquired is a logistical challenge that we've all been engaged in. Once we get title to them, is there work that you have to do to then, you know, obviously you want to go along properties and see what's there, but is there any kind of constraint on how many of these you could absorb? Or how many? No, that's easy.
No, and my staff is 7.5 right now. Then so far with a few more board approvals, I guess RTM has a hearing next on the 8th to hear my operating budget request. But with that, assuming everything gets approved, I'll have 8.5. Right now, I'm the only one that does this, does shellfish, does you know.
Would it help if we wrote an email in support of you to RTM? Or is
Yeah,
it
I mean,
pretty
it
much?
wouldn't hurt, but I think so far it's going
Good.
smooth.
Okay.
I think it's Portland has never hurt. I don't know if I haven't sensed that there's going to be any
Pushback.
resistance.
Okay.
Because I'm not really growing. I'm getting back to where the number of staff was before I got here.
Okay.
That's a good distinction.
Yeah, so it's not, and I make that because it's the fact that I showed up and there was, you know, there have been
Things falling apart.
some cuts, we'll call it, and I'm just trying to get back to what the level that the department has been historically, and I was able to prove that in the memo, going back, I had staff numbers back to the 80s, so nothing, I'm not asking for, you know, extra set of hands, but I feel like, you know, but anyway, so I'm the only one that in the department that handles this stuff. If we acquire some big parcels like those on Stonewall, I would walk in and have had the discussion, including with Amy from Audubon to cut a trail in there, open up a new open space, and connect it with Audubon versus, you know, Larson Sanctuary. So we could have a great public-private partnership with 2 entrances from Stonewall or Red Oak. They seem to, you know, be open to that, and I think it'd be a great space, you know, creating an entire new open space for the town. I mean, some of these parcels, like the last Congress Street, 1521 really only worked on me once we owned it was, I thought that was a good location to put up a sign, showing our ownership. I think the public, is owed that and, just more front facing, hey, this is open space. No one's walking knee deep in water through those, I think it's 2.5 acres to go on a hike. But it shows that we own it and we're protecting open space, wetlands, whatever. So really on some of these, same with Westway, it would be part of the existing open space that's already there, which needs some TLC. But it's once it's acquired or once they kind of the lawyers handle it and take title, then it's part of our open space inventory.
Sure. So it sounds like, and I'm going to just tell you what I think I heard you tell me right. As we work to closure, or we work to closure with the attorneys on these things, we can then bring in new ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm constantly.
Be asking for that. It does feel like there's a lot that's open right now.
Mm-hmm.
Juggling too much at once to call them.
Yeah,
Although the pace of these things sounds like you can juggle a lot.
yeah, you could because then I launch them and then it's whatever 6 months to 2.5 years to get it over the finish line. Some are easy, some are complicated. But the Westway parcels were on a list that I got from the selectman's office that I was able to review on a short list. They're going to be looking at back taxes. All of them, most of them had houses. The ones that didn't are either on this list, except for the Westway parcels that were not. So I pulled them off, and that was, pretty quick. I would say that, if we take title in the next, even say, couple weeks, this will have been located, corresponded, and taken title within like 2 months. So it all depends on the interaction with the current, existing owner or non-existing owner, I could say.
So what is the basis of this list? Like Westway is not on here. Is that just because since the last meeting?
Yeah. So it's the second or third to last on here, but
This is the minutes, what we sent around, and maybe I have the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's on this one.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
similar to Sanders, I have the color-coded.
I just know
just
the
to
color
show-
version. It's the color.
Yeah, okay. The color-coded is for ease of.
Did you get that with the minutes?
Yeah.
Last meeting?
It's just color-coded.
Mhm.
I printed it out in color for the meeting.
I'm just wondering how this list gets generated. This is all active matters, or it's ones that you
Some
should know about?
Yeah, I just keep a worksheet, and then prior to the meeting, I just send it out as part of the agenda.
Yeah, that property, depending on the situation, will be opposed. There's no support for the purchase. We'll go into discussion here about whether or not
Right.
it makes sense. Tim will elaborate on the natural features of it, and connect it to open space, and sort of thing. That's all I got. Thanks, Ken. There will be, your tax rate, somebody gonna help you with some of these?
Probably, I'll be able to delegate some of that,
In the tax involved. moving along. So in early February, I don't know if Adam and I met with First Selectman Gerber. We felt we were trying to meet with former Selectman Kupchak, but didn't get a chance last fall. So with the change in the administration, we made a phone call to see if we could get into just to introduce ourselves, talk briefly about our commission, what our goals are, what we see our issues as far as properties and the way things progress in our role in the town, whether or not things are accurately moving forward according to the charter, specifically things like the fee and move open space issues that we noted with some properties. I felt, and I brought up, and we mentioned it to the selectmen, that some of the valuations were kind of low, where the 10% that the town was getting based off of a property price in 2020 before we had the big spike in real estate prices. So I let them know that I think that they're working on it. He agreed, and basically said that he's going to look into it with the office and coordinate with the zoning department. Jim Wendt was mentioned as somebody who's pretty involved in the whole process. So we felt pretty confident after the meeting that we're on their radar and that things will get tightened up as far as the solid denominations for these acquisitions and the monies that changing hands. So that's good. We also brought up that we weren't really clear where acquisition funds are stored, kept on in the budget. Still a little unclear where they are. So they're going to work on it. Most of it is in the general fund for purchases like what we're hoping for near Perry's Mill Pond. There's bonding that for some stuff to be talked about. Again, we were pretty happy with the meeting, and we're now on their radar, and we'll probably follow up with his office pretty soon. I think they're moving along with those issues that are brought up. So,
Did he express a view on how he feels about the mission of this group? Is he passionate about it? Or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I spoke with Jen Carpenter afterwards, and he said he really enjoyed meeting with us. So, again, it's not just me and Adam. If anybody else wants to try to get in there, feel free to, doors always open. So, try to do it once a year. Makes it all better because we are under the selective jurisdiction, so to speak, the commission.
But
yeah, I don't know if that is.
Adam, you there? No.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I heard everything. I was just on mute. Sorry. No, I heard Rob. That was a good summary. I think with regarding the appraisals, we just wanted to make sure that they were following the town regs and that they were getting, accurate appraisals of these properties, because the money that's derived from the appraisals would affect, that money if they don't do the set aside and they pay the percentage, it's going to be, we won't get our money's worth. And we wanted to make sure that, I think Rob already said, had a little trouble hearing just about the land acquisition fund, make sure it's properly funded and that we have a good understanding of what the balance is and that sort of thing. But no, he's definitely on board with some of our ideas. And I thought it, like Rob said, it was a good meeting, and he's open to, listening to changes and any POCD that we might have and everything else. No, I thought it was encouraging. So we're left pretty happy.
Excellent. Thank you for doing that.
The key point was just to make sure that these appraisals are accurate and that they're factoring in the potential value of
Right.
property with a house on it. What a developer theoretically could get. Right. We would max out the lot with years. So, and that all ties into the appraisal process, which, we're in the charter, we're entitled to ordering. We make sure that we see everything that comes through. Make sure that it's all fair and just. The POCD, that kind of ties into, we did discuss that with Bill Gerber. There hasn't been many updates on that. We need to keep an eye on it and talk to the zoning department of any significant changes. There's a website for updates on the land conservation and development. So that's something to check from time to time. We want to make sure that that the term open space is in there as much as possible, and our focus is town focus to acquire conservation properties. Moving along, new business. Thursday is coming up. An event at Ward High School. I think the Conservation Commission is going to be there. If anyone's interested from LAC, I think we should have somebody there, maybe alongside Conservation. It would be a good opportunity to talk to our cohorts in the Conservation Commission. So it's 10 to 4 Ward High School.
I'm trying to understand the date. The 26th, I think, was written in the note. I think it was a Friday.
Yes.
It's a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, yeah.
I could probably do like a 2-hour shift if someone wants to split it with me.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the year.
A little later. So the record reflect that it's not Thursday 2014, Thursday 2014. Also, every 1,000 days.
If the commission has an interest, whether it gets completed or not, for this year or following years. Last year with conservation joining this Earth Day event, I had a banner made by the other printer one, Granville. They made like a vinyl banner. I don't know. It was 2x6 or something like that. Of that thick like vinyl. You can hang on the table. If there's interest. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who's hosting the event?
Most likely.
Oh, okay. I know people on there, so I can contact them and see like what they're looking for.
So the banner, maybe we can get on that.
Yeah. And if it's something,
So,
that's fun.
yeah.
That's one of the shelters and one for conservation.
Yeah, it'd be good.
You guys want them? I think it came with like $70 or something. But and we can pull it out of my operating budget if you want. If you want to,
Thank you.
discuss. Well, I mean, we can do a 10-minute event.
Yeah.
Do they provide the tables? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't go last year, but
I'll talk to somebody to figure out that. I just, coming from a teacher background, I'd like to put something interactive on the table, so I'll figure that all out with Mary, what the vibe is and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do have the brochures.
Yeah, I'll do that, and something interactive would be cool.
Conservation gave away Bat House and Bluebird House.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Which was kind of just like they had like a raffle, and I think it was 3 Bat and 3 Bluebird houses that were just, kids like interactive stuff. It's interesting.
Right.
More of an intention, roll out to have that conversation of, oh, what do you guys do? Or,
Yeah.
I didn't know we had one. What we're going to hear. It's all of our reasons. We have the manpower to
Annual tradition. Okay, the other topic is similar to, what I mentioned before, which is basically, Luke has got there's an open door for us to meet more often with his selectmen's office, P&Z. Tim's always available to answer questions. We have dialogue with them, you count on. Anybody have anything they wanted to bring up at this meeting? Thanks, Mark, for coming on board.
Great, fascinating.
Glad to have you here.
I just want to say it's so refreshing to see like some more movement on this. So thank you for all your work in making that happen, and I'm happy for this year to be a little bit more productive.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Guys do a great job. I think that this commission is kind of flies under the radar too often, and people don't realize the positives that come out of more public awareness. I believe to your commission homepage on my department homepage to try and generate some more traffic of like I said, I didn't know we had a land acquisition commission. I don't know, I had the idea on the way here, and I don't know if it's even worth pursuing, but would switch of venue for future meetings to generate the audio and get the YouTube presence be worth anything. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, I can watch the meeting or I can attend the meeting virtually. I
don't feel like anybody ever listens to anything until something controversial comes up, I guess. Yeah. But I don't get any emails from public comment.
Yeah, and then again, I don't know if that's just because no one really knows, but unless I have a controversial application for inland wetlands,
right,
or conservation, none of the public ever is online or in person. So,
are there controversial ones?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some where we need, we have 100 plus people from the public who are angry about an application, and we need.
Can't wait.
We need the big room at the fire training center. And then there's some meetings that nothing catches anyone's ears, and they go unattended. So, but those are the first people to say, well, I didn't know about this, because you didn't pay attention to your public meeting.
Right.
So,
No
I don't know, just a thought that, would anyone attend? I don't know. Maybe that could be a good step until the end of the year for the following.
Keep it on the radar. You said change the venue, that would mean.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, me too.
WebEx, we have an opportunity for the public to.
I just feel like it'd be more work than value.
Yeah, because then we're involved with IT and having someone host.
Yeah.
Conservation does this.
We're at fire training the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
And that's all hybrid.
Yeah. And for our group, we'll just keep it as is and look for me. Yeah.
Because you notice that TV
Yeah,
Then, the meeting, the minutes recorded,
yeah,
all out there, transparent to the public.
yeah.
If someone wanted to, they still have this option to
Yeah.
join, but
The first quarter meeting went straight to the webpage, and a whole hour and 10 minutes of it, so we're doing what we're supposed to be.
Is that something I have to physically do, or it automatically goes?
No, I just need you to do the minutes from tonight.
Okay.
It is 7:01. Motion to adjourn public board meeting.
I'll second that.
The balance of issues being scheduled,
Yeah.
is it on the website or?
Yeah, it's already on the calendar. First, Tuesday of the quarter, so, like,